Ha! Axel. Kind of a dumb acronym. I don't remember what the movie said, but I do remember that the X is for exploration. It starts with an E. Rough. I was bored, what can I say? I went to the movie theater to see Searching, and the lady at the front said, "Hey, see this movie." Are you serious? That movie actually got made? So I was like, nah, what the heck? I have absolutely nothing better to do with my time than to see Axel, or AXL. Axel is written and directed by Oliver Daly. That's very scarily simple. For those of you who don't watch my show, I have noticed an algorithm involving writing and directing by as few people as possible. You know? Not too many fishes to fry. Not too many cooks in the kitchen. Not too many clothes in the dryer. I'm running out of metaphors here. Now, for those of you who do watch and don't watch, here's the bottom line. If it's being written and directed by the same person, honestly, most of the time things go bad. You really should have a writer and a director both working together on something passionately. Writing and directing, that's tough. That's a lot to do. But I'd say it's about a 50-50 hit or miss. Theoretically, if this thing is good-ish, then it should be competent and have some passion behind it. Or it is just complete trash because it's directed by somebody who is surrounded by yes men and women. Let's go. So our main dude, Miles, and his dad are poor and down on their luck, and they're supposed to... Yeah, we've seen this before, but whatever. Kid finds an odd friend who is under attack by the government. I got you, didn't I? Because I've set this up to be like, I hate the movie, but remember I said, it's hit or miss. This is kind of a hit. The main kid, Miles, is actually pretty likable. I would hang out with this kid. It's pretty surprising. Her. Is she eye candy? Absolutely. And honestly, I think that her not being really that annoying was an accident. Now we come to Axel. I didn't buy him at first, but that was mostly because I was being stubborn, because I never expected to at all enjoy Axel. But this little guy started to grow on me. I think what finally pushed me onto his side is that he wasn't always CGI. As borderline silly as it sometimes looked, the practical effects that they used on Axel was courageous. We learned from E.T. that, guys, if you want a relatable character that isn't human, make it as real as possible. AKA, don't use CGI. It is a rare gem if that actually ever works. But be safe, use practical effects. It worked for freaking Axel, so it should work anywhere else. The acting. You know, surprisingly, nothing particularly bad. I was kind of shocked. The dialogue. Oh wow, I can't think of any really bad lines in this movie. Does that mean the dialogue was alright? I mean, there is one line that the dog repeats a couple of times that I was a bit polarized on. But honestly, I'm gonna let it slip. If I'm letting things slide, guys, that means that the movie has qualities that are good enough to make me forgive its faults. That movie. What the heck? Okay, so it's cliche. Yes. But if you're gonna go that route, how do you do it differently enough so that it's not silly, or it's not a drudgery to watch? Well, give us good characters that are played by great actors that don't say stupid things about hair, and be competent in what you're making. Know what you're making and for what demographic it's for, and you'll at least be safe. You'll at least have an okay movie, a watchable movie. And I feel that this movie did that appropriately. Even made it emotional at times, surprisingly. You know what this movie kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of last year's Power Rangers. Did I expect that movie to suck? Oh, yes I did! But then I walked out of the theater being like, alright, I liked it. Not nearly as good, but it accomplished the same sort of thing. The thing is that these movies are going to continue to be under scrutiny as they continue to dwell in that crappy, cheesy, superficial, cliche territory. This movie was definitely headed in the right direction, it just wasn't loud enough to be noticeable. Predictability. I mean, I was surprised that it hit certain emotional cues that I didn't expect. So, I mean, be prepared for those, but other than that, I mean, I didn't really expect a ton out of this movie. So, what I got was already more than what I was expecting from the movie. Morale. You see, I'm going to give credit to this movie for doing successfully what every other movie in this subgenre has done in the past. Hit the heartstrings, at least a little bit, as well as by keeping the film grounded in its own reality. It didn't overreach, it didn't overstay its welcome, and even at some points impressed me a little bit. Enough to keep me around at least. I never expected this to be a topic of interest, but the soundtrack. Surprisingly good. Kind of a weird dubstep sort of thing, and I think I remember some synthesizers and maybe some instrumental. So, I mean, the movie won't hold up. Its soundtrack won't hold up over time, but it really just worked for this movie. It did its job by enhancing the experience, as a soundtrack should do. Judging by this writer and director's film rap, I can tell that he's passionate about what he does, and we could see some great things from him in the future. I'll keep an eye on him. I'm looking forward to it. I was fairly surprised by this movie. I'm gonna put it at number 197. Right on Eeyore's tail. Ha! So, Axel. Okay. I'm not even gonna ask if you guys have seen it, because you probably haven't. You're probably thinking the exact same thing as me when you saw the trailer.
Looks dumb.
Tell me your thoughts on this movie, and the subgenre for that matter, because, I mean, it is very polarizing. But guys, a good conversation just isn't worth the time unless you're gonna come back to it. So if you want to keep talking about this stuff, hit the stupid red button that's right somewhere down there. Hit it. Do it now. Please. I will see you next time on Movie Slayer.